cleaner than I ever would be. It's cooler than Antarctica's weather would be. Damn, I think my swagger is a weapon to me. And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dawg. Real talk. You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you would.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to this channel. So guys, I'm going to start doing a lot more story times over here because I want to make sure that my other channel is just news based and reviews and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I keep this channel kind of what it was before with story times and topics and stuff like that. So for a lot of you guys know, I am a nudist. And so I want to talk to you guys and show you some stuff, show you guys some stuff that I've done. Y'all not gonna see no nudity, but it's just different stuff that I've done. So let's go ahead and play the intro and then we're gonna get started. All right, let's go.
I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
All right, y'all, I am back. So, first I want to say what's up to everybody that's in the chat. What's going on, Sassy Peach? Said, hey, boo. Was just getting ready to put a note in the chat and ask where you were and if you were okay. I was hoping you were having a jamming pride experience. See you later tonight. What is going on, Sassy Peach? What's going on, Connected? Well. And Miss our Thursday night gatherings. LOL. Me too. I'm waiting to hear from the guys. So, whenever I talk to them, we'll get them started again. But I wanted to talk to you guys about it because people are always asking me about my nudist experiences. And I definitely want to talk about it because I've been on like a few within the last 2 months. And so I want to kind of share that stuff because a lot of people don't know what it is to kind of be a nudist. And so I want to talk about it. What's going on, Janet Holiday? Hey, still dead. Happy Tuesday. I want to talk about it with you guys. So I do have like a few videos that I did. I put together a whole bunch of stuff today because I want to make sure I can show you guys like some of the trips, some of my friends. One trip I can't really show you all of that because it's a private group, but I just want to talk about it as well. But last month, I did go to Miami. And I did go to a nude resort. Now, I didn't know I was going to a nude resort. I was actually a gay resort. It was really interesting. It's my first time actually going to something like that. When I walked in, one, it was like a very Caucasian heavy. So I haven't really been around a lot of them for that kind of stuff. So they were doing a lot when I got there. And I'll just keep it at that. But I walked in, and it was pretty interesting. And I was like, my friend, like, yo, what is this? And he was like, yo, it's a nude resort. And I was like, no one told me that. But I was prepared for it because I'm like, I normally travel to Miami for like Holiday Beach, which is a nude beach. And I've had pretty good experiences when it comes to that. What's going on, Young Rich? I've had really good experiences when it comes to Holiday Beach. Holiday is one of the best places because they section it off for like the different categories of who's the nudist and what kind of nudist you want to be. They have it where it's just like, people just want to go and be nude. They have it for swingers. They have it for LGBT. They have it for, whatever letter of the LGBT, they have it for, like, different sections for that. So I thought that was pretty cool when I got there. And actually, I didn't realize that until I started traveling there towards the beginning of this year. And I had already been prior to that, but my friends had put together the trip. So that was pretty interesting to me. And I always wonder why I was like always like a lot of gay guys every time I went, but I realized I was in the gay part. So that experience to me was fun. One time, the first time that I went, I actually played football in the nude. And I went to work when I got back, and my back was hurting and everything. I had a horrible time. I had to go to the doctors and everything because I was like really, really active, and I haven't really been that active since I've been a kid. But it's really just a lot of people. Most of the times, you will see nudity, but a lot of times people still have on clothes and stuff like that. But that was the first time I went, I did get nude because I wanted to have the full experience. For me, I don't really know where my interest for this came in at, but I think when I would say that trip made me realize like I really enjoy that type of atmosphere because it's not a sexual thing. It's more of, I just like to enjoy myself. And also I just feel like, body positivity is something that I'm really into now. And I love the fact that there's a lot of artists like Lizzo, and people who are really making it a thing where it's pretty cool. You might want to log off. So I do want to play. I'm gonna play my first video. Let me share my screen. And this isn't on nudity. This is just my friends. When we got there, what we did do just my first thing. And I was going to do a vlogs, but I have a hard time vlogging, y'all, because I'll be forgetting to turn the camera on and do stuff. So I have stuff that I recorded, and I was like, I could just do it on the live. So this will be fun. So let me share my screen. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. Let's just play. All right, so what's going on? I'm horrible at vlogging, but I'm in Miami, y'all. And I'm sitting down here by the baggage thing, waiting on my friend to get here so we can go get this rental car and go to the Airbnb. But I'm going to try my best to vlog this entire trip and edit while I'm doing that as well. Hopefully, I have a surprise for you guys. But we'll see. But I'm here for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm here for 5 days. So I'm gonna take y'all with me. We'll have some fun. We're gonna see some things. We're gonna do some things, and let's do it.
Philly track. They ain't see this coming. Let's go. Fresh to the death, to the Lord, drop my casket. Too many suckers is acting Angela Bassett. Any may eating, bone creeping. Seen a brother on the come up, so they stay beefing. I'm vegan. Philly daddies with a stop tweeting. I control or delete these suckers, have them leaking. That line while your music, homie, what you doing? Body like a rock star, but this star, I'm shining. Homie, I'm a diamond and I'm in it in a rough, bro. Homies wanna so bad they don't know that I am dope, bro. So you can either sniff or smoke or even take an injection. I'm a dope. But I ain't talking about the illegal. Track dealer flow so legal. So if you ever got a problem, solution is me. Me and your homeboy Philly to the P.
Bitch, that's my name, don't wear it out. Got my name in your mouth, I'ma tear it out. Your girlfriend throw the pussy, I'ma wear it out. Always try to block my lane, but I clear it out. Clear it out, 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 clear it out. Yeah. You know I spit them ignorant bars, bitch. I am who you aren't, now live with it. Oh, I hurt your feelings, broke your heart, I don't give a shit. I'm hip to the game, but what part of the shit is this? I've been on to get them, I've been killing them for too long. Them haters was fans, they don't feel me on my new song, cause I've been on my new shit, stunting with my new bitch, hopping out the whip, fresh kicks with the new fit. Wonder why you're talking, cause you don't never do shit. Put your foot in your mouth, you sounding like a doofus. Look, you gon' make me aim from the roof, bang from long range, hit the stain on your tooth, bitch. Yeah, getting money is what I'm about, cause I couldn't see being in my 20s at my mama house. Yeah, so while you keeping up the drama, I'ma come up and cop the crib bigger than Obama house. Bitch, that's my name, don't wear it out. Got my name in your mouth, I'ma tear it out. Your girlfriend throw the pussy, I'ma wear it out. Always try to block my lane, but I clear it out. Clear it out, 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 clear it out.
I play the game like Tetris, blocking niggas out, $8 I stretch it, problems I address it, heat for protection, crazy 80 baby, you fugazi if you flex it, cause you can make the 80 bang, flame in your direction, I be on my crazy thing, break you into sections, every bar that a nigga slang is infected, so you niggas better clear it out for you catch it. Turn the bass down low, just snare it out, my they call me Rod Reezy, don't wear it out, when saw the player hating that I'm here about, knock Zima with the heater, high clear mouth, flow cook 'em if I'm looking for your whereabouts, see it's too late, trade 8 like air mouth, flame in the game, see them lanes I don't care about, run them over like a bulldozer, I'ma clear them out.
Why they hating on me? I'm just trying to do my thing.
I don't know what it be, young lads.
What up?
Why they hating on us?
I don't know what it is, but I don't give a fuck. Yo, track.
Yeah.
Is they hating on you? I can answer that for him. Yeah, they hating him too. Them haters talking, but I ain't trying to hear them out. You see my team coming through, bitch clearing.
What's up, yo? So we on the big one. We got meal seats. Well, that's a rice. This is for everybody on this plane. We got the window. See the view. You cannot hear the wind. I want somebody. As soon as I said that, somebody said that. It's cool. We're going back to Atlanta. So I'll see you guys when we land. We're going live on the YouTube when I get that, y'all. So I can't wait to talk to you guys. All right. All right, here we go. So this experience was really fun because I didn't really know what I was going to. But the more that I hung out there, the more fun it got. And this is a lighter one. This is because these are like my really close friends that I was with. But I did enjoy this one because one, I had never been to a nude resort, and then two, um, it was my first experience, so I didn't really know what to expect. So everything was like, "Oh wow, this was happening. This is what y'all doing. Is this what goes on?" I didn't know nothing, so it was fun to just kind of watch and see how people that are nudists work. And this is when we first got there. So then, well, when I first got there, I went to the airport, whatever. We got the penthouse suite, so we had the top floor. So it wasn't really around everybody that was there. Um, but we had our own space, so we wanted to invite people we could to kind of experience that stuff together and control our atmosphere. Um, I wish I would have been able to do like a tour of the penthouse that we had because it was like the whole top floor of the place. But it was really cool, and like you could kind of see what everybody else was doing out in the open, and there was some interesting things that I seen while I was there. Um, I don't like that people kind of take it a little farther to me than I think that it should happen. But if you're a real nudist, like it's not about the sexual stuff, it's more about just being free and whatever your body looks like, you're enjoying that space. So that's why I really enjoy it, and that's why it was really cool to me. I'm trying to think of. I think when my friends left, I kind of got to experience a little bit more because I stayed a day after everybody did. And I actually got to like do the whole nude thing while I was there. And it was a lot of people that were there that was like, oh, I kind of get it because sometimes like you're afraid to kind of do the new things around people you are really familiar with versus doing it with people that you don't know. Hey, Miss Reed, what's going on? So it was cool. Like I actually enjoyed the whole thing. I still had the penthouse, so I enjoyed the whole time. I got to walk around. They had like two pools. There was like four hot tubs. I still traveled to the new beach on that Monday, so I had a good time with that. So the next experience that I had was this weekend. I actually went to a cabin trip where that was with a nude group. This one is a lot more interesting. That one I want to show you guys because that was just fun for me. I enjoyed my friends or whatever, and I feel like they like broke me into like really what I wanted to do when it comes down to it. So I was online and I think it was on Twitter. I was talking to people on Twitter, and I was like, "Yo, I wish I could find a really dope like nude group." And somebody inboxed me was like, "Yo, we have this trip coming up. It'll be dope if you can come." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool. Like, let me know." I loved it because it was very private, so you couldn't just like go if you just was randomly want to do it. It was more of an inclusive group, and so they ask you questions before you go because this group there's doctors, there's lawyers, there's teachers, there's so many people that are in this atmosphere where you can't like they want their privacy. So I was really like, okay, this would probably be dope because for me, I still want to have my privacy, but I still want to talk about it when I'm on YouTube and it was like, oh, that's cool. So I met them online. They have a group on an app, and you log on to it after you pay for the trip. Yes, young rich doctors, lawyers, teachers. There's judges. Who else was there? There's architects. Like this is a group of people that I was excited to be around. So you get to know each other in the chat first, and then we had an icebreaker, and the icebreaker was really fun because I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is really dope. I met a lot of people for fun there when I got there for that. We played games, like we played icebreaker games there, and those games they were like sexual questions, but it was more to like just break you out of like your shell or whatever. It was like no sexual things happened. It was just questions that would just break you from being in your shell. And so I met a few guys there. One, like we hang out literally like all the time now. And like I hope hopefully I will bring this guy on my channel because y'all, like this guy has a personality out of this world. I love hanging out with him and talking to him, but we were on the same page. Like, it's not a sexual thing for us. It's like more of a freedom thing. And so we talked, and up until the time, I think I had paid for the trip like 2 months before we went on the trip. And the trip finally happened and he got nervous. I was like, wait a minute now, why are you getting nervous? But I was like, well, I'm still going to go on Thursday because I want to enjoy the whole trip. And I did. Like, we got there Thursday. And let me play this is a shorter clip than the other one I played. And I just want to show, like, on the way there, what happened, so I can see what the outside looked like. And then we can go back to everything. So, hold on, let me pull this up. There we go. And this is like taking y'all on the trip, so y'all kind of feel like what I experienced on my way. So it's like you can kind of get the feel of it. All right, so wait, where is this at? Oh, here we go. All right, y'all. So I am so terrible at this vlogging crap, but we are finally here at the cabin. But I'm gonna show y'all the hill that we gotta go up because everybody isn't scared to drop their cars up the hill. But we're at the cabin. It took us like 2 hours. On top of us stopping at the store, we went to Walmart to get our food, and we stopped and got Chick-fil-A and stuff on the way here. But we're here. This car is packed. So get ready for a weekend with me. This should be pretty interesting. We met up with a lot of the guys at Walmart, which I met most of them already. But there was a few new people that I met at Walmart. So we're just waiting for everybody to get here so they can go in and inspect the house, and then we can start unpacking and getting ready to go. But we're here. See how this goes. All right, so this was my trip that I just took to the cabins this weekend. One, I was very nervous about it because I had never went on a trip like this by myself. But two, it was just like I didn't really know what to expect. I normally travel by myself, but I'm actually traveling with other people that I don't know. And I think the more that I hung out with them, the more that I liked it. The first night that we were there, we did like I think we did like a taco night. We had like icebreaker games again because with the first icebreaker that we did, there were people that weren't there because they came from out of town. Um, I think meeting the other guys, it was really fun because one, it was still like a new introduction to being a nudist. And you did not get naked up front. Like it was like the game's supposed to get you there. So I like that part because I didn't want to like just go get there like let's just drop everybody and let's go. Like I need to process. So we got there, we unpacked, we picked the rooms or whatever. This is another thing that I wish I would have done was do like a house tour so I can show you guys like what the cabin looked like. The cabin was amazing. It was like there was like one, two, three, four, five, six. It was 8 rooms. There was 19 people that was there. And so we picked our rooms. As a lot of us already picked out who we was going to room with before we got there, and unpacking must have been easy. It was for me, but I also picked. I brought clothes with me too because if you've seen the video that I just showed, like there was I think it's like a river that was in front of it because I wanted to do tubing too, and we wanted to do hiking, all the other stuff. But everybody that was there didn't want to do all that stuff, so I didn't get an opportunity to do all that stuff. But I wanted to do all. I actually brought my fishing poles because I wanted to go fishing too. But everybody didn't want to do all that stuff, which I wish that we would have done all that stuff. We couldn't do all that nude though. Was the guys erect or was it gummy worms all around? It was both. It was both. And that was a disclaimer that they gave before you even joined the group. It was like people going to be attracted to you, especially when you take your clothes off. So that's something to be prepared for. For me, I let it be known like I'm not coming here to have sex. Like I'm really coming to just enjoy nudity, and that's it. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 decks in the back of our cabin. There were hammocks everywhere. They had little fireplaces everywhere. We had a hot tub, and they had there was more bathrooms than there was rooms. So, I mean, you didn't have to really worry about like where was you going to shower. Would you do if you wanted to shower by yourself? You had, or whatever you take baths, whatever. You had options. When I got there, I was like, I wanted to be in the room where everybody was going to be at. And just so happened the room that I was in, they kind of had like little cubby holes in the walls in the main room. And so I was like, I'll just stay in one of these because I think this will be fun because I can see what's going on. And if I don't want to be involved, I can just watch from my room. So literally that's what happened. So the first night, like I said, it was taco. I believe it was taco night. We had taco night. And then we played the icebreaker games. The icebreaker games was so that you can actually start taking off your clothes and, becoming a nudist, I guess. It was cool for me. I enjoyed that entire time. The more that I was there, and it was late at night, so I knew I was going to bed soon anyway. So the next day, we all kind of slept in because we were drinking and smoking a lot. And I believe I woke up and I went and ate breakfast and went back to sleep. I did do that. Oh man, this looks cloudy. I'm gonna just keep going. Hopefully this clears up. But anyway, so I did that. I'm more of a loner anyway, so I really didn't mind the fact that I was able to do that. But when I woke up, it was mostly like they were watching movies, they were playing. We had a pool table, They were playing pool. What else was there? A lot of people was hanging out on the decks and the hammocks and around the fireplace. There was a lot of weed smoking, which I don't smoke that much, but it was a lot of that going on. So I enjoyed Friday a lot because again we had game night that night too to just kind of break ice, and I'm a spades player, so I definitely want my goal was to play spades and enjoy my time there because I wanted to do that, and I already had a spades player from meeting them at the icebreaker. Um, I was waiting the entire time because I really wanted to go to do the tubing stuff. It just never happened because people really came to relax. And so most of the day, Friday, that's what happened. But Saturday was like our crazy day. Saturday, the games turned into something totally different. And people was hooking up and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, do what you do. Um, I kind of say to myself, but I think the part that I really enjoyed the most is that I actually met someone that was there that I wasn't expecting to meet. And I think I went on the trip thinking like, I don't want to come on this trip thinking that I'm going to meet anyone. Uh, I just went for fun for me. And yeah, I want to restart this so bad because I hate that this is so cloudy. I'm going to restart my computer really, really, really quick, y'all, because I don't like how this looks. Give me 1 second. All right. I saw that, Young Rich. Um, it's like every time I say that I'm about to restart it, it just gets clear. I don't know what that's about. And I wonder if it's all these damn lights. But anyway, so was it two people hooking up or was it a group activity? It was different stuff the last night. It wasn't for me. I didn't want to do it. And honestly, I was glad that I didn't do it because, like I said, I had met someone. Let me turn this off. I met someone that was there, and it was like we had a good connection, and I enjoyed our conversation. I enjoyed whatever was happening at the time. I was like, "Yo, this is dope." What's going on, Institute Queen B? Um, it was like something that didn't make sense to me, but it made sense to me. For me, like I like more of a connection, like a spark, something. So when it happened, I was very shocked because one, the guy came the very last day, and so we've been like really talking since I met him from the trip, and I enjoyed this part. So I think like I really want to encourage people to even have experiences like this. Hell, I want to see what was going. Listen, I can't even explain to you on here without me getting flagged. But things was going on, and I was like, oh, this ain't my thing, but do what you do. Um, but I feel like me and like I said, like this summer, my goal is to visit multiple new beaches. And for my birthday, I'm going to the Folsom Street Fair too, which is another. It's kind of a new thing too as well. This with leather, which I'm not into leather, but this is something I want to experience. So these events that I've been going to, like I've really been enjoying it. Um, I didn't think that I was going to enjoy it this much, for real. I was like, maybe I just think it's gonna be like I'm watching Pornhub or something like that. But even when I went, I was just like, it wasn't even what I wanted to watch. I actually just wanted to chill and do my thing. And the more that I did it, what is leather? They have like their leather outfits and stuff like that. Um, let's look up False Street Fair. That is a good thing. You need to get out and do stuff. Yeah, and I'm so introverted. Like this kind of takes me out of my box. So, and I'm enjoying learning myself. I feel like going to the things that I've been going, the things I've been going to, because even we have a thing here called Deviant in Atlanta, and I know they travel around to like New York and I think Miami and California. I've even gone to the Deviant stuff. Like I'm realizing that I do like more freedom. For me, I feel like sexually I've done everything I wanted to do. And secondly, I don't want to do sexual stuff like that anymore. I would like to and meet someone who likes their freedom. And meeting this guy made me realize, like, yo, you can still go to something like this, and it doesn't turn into sex. It really turns into like a connection or whatever it is. Maybe it's a friendship, whatever. But I've really been enjoying this entire thing with exploring who I am as an individual. And I kind of wish I would have done this like earlier in my life, honestly, because it feels like a missing component that I've had in my life. Like there was something that I needed or I wanted, but that I didn't know I needed. And the more people that I talk to, like I learned from the groups that I've been going to, like there are people who go to these groups and you could kind of find like your algorithm, if you can say that word, of people you want to be around, because everybody who goes to these trips or kind of is into this don't always go to this for the same reasons. But mine is just to be like, I just want to do the nude stuff. Like I don't want, if I want to have sex, I can go have sex. But I want to enjoy the freedom of me being naked and me going and having fun playing games and doing stuff that, I can't do home. Is that something that happened when you get in your 30s? I've heard a lot of people have the same mindset or standpoint. Maybe because I think that in my 20s, I was married. My 30s, I would say my late 20s and up until like 35, like I probably did everything I wanted to do. I'm almost 40, and now like my sexual drive is like low. Like I don't want to even explore that anymore. I feel like I've done everything I want to do, but I do enjoy the nudity thing. There's actually a show that's on Discovery Plus, I think. They have a community in Tampa where there's like a whole community where they have like a whole neighborhood where it's a new neighborhood. And I've really been thinking about starting like a black nude, like a nudist neighborhood. It's like something I feel like I want to do. Because one, I think that when you go to stuff, normally it's normally less white people. Like it's never a lot of black people. This trip showing that there are black people who like to be nudists. Um, and that some of them don't understand what a nudist is. They think that it's going to a sex trip. And you filter out, as the more you do the trips, you filter out, what it is. I mean, you may want to have a group that wants that, but you may want to have a group that just wants to be nude and that's it. Live their life as a nudist. And I think once I watched that show on Discovery, I realized like, yo, this is a real thing. I never really heard of it as a black person, but the more I learned about it, the more I like it. As the two said, yes, sex drive isn't going to just need to find that right. Yes, sex drive isn't going. You just need to find that right person that you connect with. That deep, the things will. Then the things will change. Yeah, I mean, to me, like I've already been there. I've already done that. Like I'm not trying to travel that road. I want to have a connection with somebody, and I feel like this type of group, I might find someone who's into the same things that I'm into. because everything for me is not. I don't want to have sex all the time. I don't want that to be the main focus of my relationship. Like I just want to enjoy me and my person in the nude, you know. And I know I can't be everywhere in that way, but I am looking at some things for me because I feel like one, it's a good business strategy, but two, I think that there's other people. The more that I talk about it with people, the more I learn there's people who really are into that, and it's not about the sex part. They just want to be naked, you know. They don't want to wear clothes. And when I watched that show on Discovery, it made me realize that because these people actually have a whole neighborhood. There was one couple who they work from home. The guy, he's like a therapist, and his wife, she's like an extreme nudist, and he's like a semi-nudist. So when you go into the neighborhood, the people in the front of, like they're in the front of the houses, you have to wear clothes, but in the back they have like a nudity community in the back. So it's able to have his clients come to their house and, you know, work with them, but they're still able to be nudists behind closed doors. And I think that that's really dope because I think that learning more and more about it, the more I'm more intrigued, the more I'm more interested in, the more that I really feel like it's something that I really want to say, that I want to do. Because I'm always like, I'm a nudist because I'm naked in my house. But I mean, most people like that. A lot, well, I don't know. A lot of people like that in their house. But the nudist part of you is more like, yo, like I don't want to wear clothes, period. And if I can wear them out, I don't have to wear them outside, inside, and I have options to not do that. You know, I would love to enjoy not having to do that. And I'm learning that I'm one of those people because I'm really thinking about becoming a full nudist. And if I can move in that place in Tampa, or if I can build my own community, which I would love to do that in Atlanta, because there's a lot of guys that I know that are in Atlanta, and I don't even know, you know, from the other communities outside of the LGBT that like this. But I feel like if there's a lot of gay people that like it, there's other people who like it. What's going on in the candy shop? I was just telling them, yo, I met somebody this weekend. I went to my own meat market. No pun intended. But I feel like if I could build that community, I would love to build that community. And if I could actually get the real estate to do it, I would definitely like invest in that. So I wanted to come on and talk about it because people, when I go onto different, like I was on Mim channel and it was like, oh, people's like, I didn't know you was into that. I'm like, yeah, like I love it. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. We'll probably talk about it tomorrow or something. I'll send you some pictures. But I really enjoyed my time, and I think that going forward, like I am going to start venturing out to other communities, nudity community or nudist communities, seeing how that works. One of my friends, he was telling me today that he goes to a lot of like heterosexual ones because it's not as sexualized, and I don't want to be at the sexualized ones. I would love to go to ones that just enjoy the nudity, and that's it. And so the more that I learn about it, the more I'm really like, yo, like I'm enjoying this atmosphere. Let me see, because we were having like dope conversations. Of course, y'all know I was pulling up the schools and everything like that. And I realized like, yo, there's principals here, there's counselors here, there's therapists here. There's so many people from different dynamics that are here that are just here to just enjoy the nudity, and that's it. And also to have great conversations. And I never even thought of that. What's going on, my shoe? Just jumping in, but that's a great initiative. I always wanted to be a part of something like that, or perhaps a nude black yoga class. There's actually there is a nude yoga class that they travel around to different cities, and I'll send you the information. If you hit me up on Instagram, I'll inbox you the information. But that guy, he travels around the world doing that. We all came into this earth and naked, so nothing wrong with it. The longer you're comfortable with yourself, yeah. I think the more that I learn this about me, the more confident I am in myself, because a lot of times I feel like, yo, I want to lose weight because I want to be pleasurable to somebody, or I want to look good because I feel like I ain't gonna get nobody. But the more that I'm learning this, it's crazy because there was all different type of body types there. I seen a new yoga class on Twitter. It's probably the same one that I'm talking about. But see, for me, the only thing with this one is that that turns sexual. And even with the guy that I met, like he was like, I didn't want to come to something like this. It was like, so it's weird because when he came, because I think he got there on Saturday, because we came back to Atlanta I came back to Atlanta on Thursday because he don't even live here. He lives in Dallas. But when he came in, he was like, yo, he was like, I haven't seen you. Yeah, because I was asleep and I was chilling in my room because it was like a lot going on Saturday. Saturday it got wild. I blame you. That's the same one I see. It probably was for you. I'm here for the nudist movement. Yes, I'm down for it. Like, I'm really considering this. I just want to learn a little bit more about it, and I want to find a group that is not a sexualized group. And not saying that the group that I was with was sexualized, because, Thursday, Friday, it wasn't that. Saturday was like, yo, we going home. Who's getting it in? And I'm like, I'm getting it into the bed. Luckily, I met someone where we was like, yo, let's smoke and, let's cuddle and lay in the bed. And we watched shows on my phone. Like, that's what it was, because I was in a little cubby thing. But I enjoyed it. And it was a really dope moment. And I was like, yo, I can really get down with this. So who knows? I hate even talking about stuff like this because it always backfires on me. And I'm like, yo, I can't stand this man anymore. But we'll see how it goes. We have been talking since then, and it's been very consistent. So I really enjoyed meeting this person. And I hope that it goes farther than it goes. But we'll see how that works out. Like I said, in September, I am going to the Folsom Street Fair, which is kind of a hold on, cuddle. Wait a minute. So Saturday, so let me tell this story. So Saturday, I literally was in my room and I was watching the Housewives Girls Trip, and I ended up falling asleep. And I woke up, they had already ate dinner and everything. It was like maybe 4:00 in the afternoon. And so they had knocked on the door, and it was like, yo, we forgot that you was even in here. I'm like, oh, because I've been in my, I had barricaded myself in the room. And so they was like, yo, we already ate. You didn't come down. So they had put food away for me. I didn't even really know. So when I was walking down the steps, this guy gets up and he's like, yo, I haven't seen you. He's like, did you just get here? I was like, nah, I've been here since Thursday. And so he was like, wow. So he stood up because they were sitting on the steps, so I couldn't really get down the steps till they got up. And he was like, yo, I gotta get up, I'll get up. So he got up, I walked down the steps. I went in the kitchen and got my plate out the microwave. While I heated it up, got out the microwave, I sat down. And so I realized there was some eye contact going on. And I was like, okay, he's cute, whatever. I ain't gonna read too much into it. But it was like, the more I sat there, the more there was more and more eye contact. So I kind of sat there a little bit longer because I just wanted to see how long this was going to go on. But it just never stopped. So after I ate, I threw my plate in the trash. I went out to one of the patios, and we came outside, and it was really, really heavy eye contact and non-verbal, but there was things that was happening here. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. So he was like, yo, do you want to smoke and, take a nap and chill? I was like, sure. So he went inside, he went and got, whatever we were smoking. And we sat in one of the hammocks. We talked. And the more we talked, the more I was like, this is like what this is what I came here for. And not even just for like trying to meet someone that I wanted to date, but just more of this type of conversation and this type of connection with someone. So after we got done smoking, we went into the room and we cuddled and we watched some TV together and fell asleep and cuddled and cuddled and cuddled for a few hours. And it would feel very organic. It felt very personable. It felt very something like I really wanted to happen. And I was like, man, I need to know more about this person because I'm really feeling this. I enjoy this type of thing. This is my lane. And just for clarification, y'all both was on a gummy during the whole thing, right? Wait, y'all both on a gummy during the whole thing, right? Even during the cuddle. Yes. Gummy. During the whole thing, right? Even during the cuddle. Yes. So yes. By the time we had laid down, like I was on cloud 2007. But it was about it to me. It was the intimacy for me. Like I enjoyed the entire thing. I enjoyed like I can't even express really how I felt about it. And he was like when we got up, I think we started playing games after that, and it was more like it felt more like we was like hugged up for the whole thing, I guess. And then God, I'm losing everything now. We was more like hugged up throughout the entire thing, and then we talked about after the trip was over with, how things were going to work. And he was like, "Yo, make sure before I leave, like we take a picture together." And I was like, "Okay, well, definitely." So the next morning I was asleep, and he was like, "I'm gonna sleep in my room," which to me that was very attractive because I'm like, "Okay, so it's not like are we about to have sex? Like there's some space in between this. Like we're really trying to not really because there was very much sexual tension between us, but I didn't want to have sex and he didn't want to have sex either. So I like that was attractive to me." So the next day he woke me up and he was like, "Hey, I'm about to leave. I want him to take the picture before I go," and so we did, and I didn't. I was. I don't know. I was just kind of just flabbergasted. Like I just didn't know how to act. I was like, I need to know more about this person. So we've been texting and talking since that, and hopefully it works out. But that was my experience for the weekend. We went to. So after we left that, we ended up driving back. Well, I didn't. He left earlier than that. He left earlier that morning. What'd you say? Things are best when you start off talking and getting to know them before sleeping with them. Take your time and don't rush anything. Right. I've always been that person. So, we definitely did kiss. We did kiss, which that was even amazing. Like everything was amazing to me. Um, after we woke up in the morning, he left, and I rode back with the guys that I came with. We went to the Cracker Barrel, and I was like, "Y'all, we are not going to eat no food here." We waited at the Cracker Barrel for like an hour. We finally got to eat. Ain't nothing wrong with kissing Young Rich. No, there's nothing wrong with that. There was just nothing sexual that went on. So I feel like that is like light. I feel like that's okay. You should be able to do that part at least. And because I'm like, we just slept in the bed together. Like, I mean, it was bound to happen. But the Cracker Barrel was cool. Once we got to eat the food, I got back to Atlanta, and we've been communicating since then. So that's my story, y'all. You know I'm nosy as hell. No, and I mean, like I said, on this channel, like I'm going to be, I want to talk about everything. I want to talk about stuff. So I'll probably update you guys on that. One thing is that, you know, y'all know I'll be traveling. So I probably will be traveling. Y'all, if y'all see me going to Dallas, you know where I'm going. Um, and vice versa. Like if I have company, y'all know who the company is. Um, I really wish I could share more, but you know, it's new and that's all I can really share at this point. But I'm just hoping that it really works out. Because I enjoyed it. It's a shame, but I've never met anyone organically like that, romantically or sexually. I've always connected on the apps. I don't usually say this, but since I'm with my tribe, I will. I feel like my yes, we're the same age. Um our love language is the same. We both look at sexual energy the same. Um we both kind of want the same stuff. We both have already kind of experienced stuff we want to experience, and we're in a space where we both kind of want to explore like actual real dating and stuff like that. So, you know, that's what I've learned so far. I know that he is a father. Um, what else did I learn? We're both our energy people, which I really like that. Um, for some reason in my life, like since I think 2016, the only thing I've been attracting is Pisces. And when he told me he was a Pisces, I was like, what the, like, what's going on with this? I feel like my high functioning autism has put me at a severe disadvantage in the gay community, especially with everything revolving around nonverbal communication, which is something I'm horrible at. I feel like a lot of people in the gay community are verbal though. Like to me, I'm gonna even take that down. To me, my shoe, I feel like me not being verbal has been my biggest flaw. Even when I met my ex husband, like our communication was very nonverbal to the point where I couldn't even talk to him unless I was on the internet. So I don't. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak on your experience. And I think this is the other reason why I'm starting to venture out on different with different groups because the regular way doesn't really work for me. I'm not a big like once I know you, I'm gonna communicate the hell out of you. But before that, like I'm so shy and I'm so nonverbal that unless you come and talk to me, like it ain't gonna happen. And that's why I even told him I was like, yo, it was like amazing the fact that like you did exactly what needed to be done because like at this point like I just want to know everything about you and we ain't even say nothing so but I think I've always witnessed my friends they're verbal and that's why they're always dating. I'm just never dating because unless somebody else says something to me I just can't do it. Like I don't know how to. I don't like to disclose as it's something I'm ashamed of and like to hide, but I just wanted to be real for a moment. I crave for something organic to happen with someone instead of for sex on the app. Yes, me too. And I think that's why I had even talked about I think that's why I talked about me being stood up because honestly, the first video that I showed you guys when I was going to Miami, the guy who stood me up, he actually met me at the airport that day. And the way that I was so confused as to why he even stood me up, like You have no idea because he communicated so much and until he just didn't want to communicate anymore. I still have not heard from this guy before, at all. So I'm like, maybe I need to find somebody who is like nonverbal and somebody who feels the way I feel, like when I feel something outside of sex, because it doesn't work well for me because communicators, like when you stop communicating, it feels bad to me. Like I don't never want to be stood up again. And like I said, like I've never been stood up before. So when it happened to me, like I automatically disconnected. Like I think I've given this man so many chances. But when it came to that, like I knew like I could never again. Like it won't happen. And maybe it was something that I needed. I mean, Rick said, don't be ashamed. That's what makes you unique, my shoe. I knew never again, but I also knew that I feel like I'm out of my league when I'm talking to people who are so extroverted and who are so like out there when it comes to like wanting to date and sex and all that. Like I don't, that's not me. So I'm with you on that. That's why I'm just like the way that this happened. I even told this boy today. Today, matter of fact, I'll read y'all what I text him. If I can find it, and if it's appropriate. Where is it at? What was the Miami guy talked about earlier in the live? No, actually, and this I forgot to even mention um what happened. Other stuff that happened in Miami. So let me see if I can find this real quick though. I don't know, it's taking too long. But anyways, so even when I went to Miami, one of the guys. So I think I've talked about this when we were doing the podcast, but um, there was a guy that he was a pilot and he lives in Miami. And when I went to the Nude Beach, he literally ran up to me at the Nude Beach to talk to me. And to me, it's like it takes so long with him. Like we've been talking for maybe like 3 years, and we had really dated, and there's so many like blank spots. Like it's hard to keep up with it. And that wasn't a non-verbal situation. It wasn't like I'm a shy thing. It was like he just gunned for me. And so I went with it because I'm like, I enjoyed that part. But it's like when you're not and when you don't want to communicate, you don't communicate. And that doesn't work well for me. Like I need the communication. Give me the rundown because I'm lost. LOL. I'm still stuck on the kissing. So, was he a good kisser? Was it very intimate? Was there tongue involved? Who leaned in first? So he was a great kisser. It was very intimate. There was tongue involved, and he leaned in first. Listen, I am not initiating nothing unless I'm drunk or something. In which I was that day too, and I was high. But most of the times I'm not doing that. But everything, like I said, he was a great kisser. Like when I say like if you just seen his lips, like they're amazing. Um, the whole situation was very intimate. So I mean, that was bound to happen. Um, And I mean, I'm a tongue kiss, I love kissing. So I mean, I feel like I'm like top tier when it comes to that. And I waited on him to lean in first, and once he did, that's what it was. I can take it from there. I can't say those types that express heavy interest, then randomly drop off randomly. Yeah, it's like the thing is like I really can't even explain this guy's communication with me, the Miami guy. I can't explain it at all because it's like it's so on and off. And I remember when I went to the Newbies the first time back in this had to be like 6 months ago. There was a guy who walked up to us and he was like, "Yo," he was like, "Are y'all together?" And I was like, "No." And he was the guy. He was like, "We used to date." And he was like, "What? Y'all stop dating?" And the issue was communication. And he was like, he told me and the guy, he was like, I like to communicate more than he likes to communicate. And I'm like, I mean, I only like called you in the morning, like, I mean, I texted the good morning and the good nights and stuff like that. I mean, I understand he was a pilot, but and I waited for him to call. After days went by, like I would call him. I'm like, because I mean, you're not flying 24 hours a day, 7 days a week now. That doesn't make sense. So the communication it wasn't there. It's not there. And I'm not like counting them out, but I mean, it's like, if somebody else comes along and you can't figure out the balance, I don't know what to tell you. I'm too scared to lean in all the way. I'll just get close and let the other person meet me with my lips. If they don't move in, okay, I'll pull back. See, that's me, my shoe. That's me. That's me. But I probably would just stare at you until you do it. Because people always tell me that people love my eyes for whatever reason. And the more I stare, the closer they get. And it just works for me. And I mean, I love the fact that I know that because it makes me, it lets me know what my advantage is. It lets me know how to work what my disadvantages that I feel like I have. So, but that's crazy. I mean, I'm glad that you're even sharing that because I mean, I feel like I talk about it all the time. When it does come to my days, like, I'm a person where I fall fast. And then something happens and I don't know what's going on. And then I for whatever reason, I deal with people who don't know how to communicate. And I just never know what happened. Child, I'm just a hoe. I'll be like, let's fake out it. There it is. If I'm drunk, like I can do that, but I'm not gonna remember that I did that. And then I'm gonna be like, did we kiss? I just like I'm so self-conscious, but I think it comes from me growing up, trying to not feel like I'm gay. And it's a flaw that I feel like I have not shaken yet. And I've been working on it though. Cause I always just feel like, the judgment in the room. And I don't want to feel that, or like, what if I leaned in and then you didn't want to do it? That rejection is going to hit like a brick. Am I ashamed about what? Child, me too. we going from playing PS5 to 6. See, that ain't me. I would never be able to do that unless I'm drunk, and then y'all forget the PS5. But yeah, I wish I wasn't so self-conscious about this stuff. Or is it that you've been rejected in the past and you don't like feeling it? I have never really been rejected because I don't put myself out there to get rejected. I think that once I start dating people and they ghost me, I don't think I know I have abandonment issues. Like I don't like to get to know someone and like everything is good, and then one day you just fall off the face of the earth. And then when we talk later on, it's like, oh well, I mean, I was talking to other people. Well, you should have said that. You know, I was on the break. I feel like a lot of times too, like when I'm out and I meet people, like I be having like good chemistry with folks, and then they have boyfriends. But you done spent the night at my house, we didn't have sex. You texting me good morning, good night, like you're giving me the whole relationship vibe, and then you got a whole relationship that you've been in for years, but you're afraid to leave your house because you don't want to leave your relationship because then you got to do things on your own. Like I've run into that a lot. So I don't think that it's that I have been rejected in the past. I just feel like I've been ghosted a lot. I guess that's a part of rejection now. I don't know. Dating is exhausting to me. And like I was telling them over the weekend, I was like, after me and my husband broke up, like I don't the dating scene for me is like treacherous. Like I don't want to even be a part of it. Like just somebody marry me in my sleep and get it over with, so I don't have to be in it no more. Because I don't understand it. People are difficult. People don't make no sense to me, and I don't understand how stuff moves. OMG, I hate when I try to be celibate and then finally meet seems to be a decent guy and he breaks the streak and then ends up being good for nothing. Yep. And see, this is what I just went on, y'all. And I said after this thing, when I got stood up, I said, I'm not even dating anymore. I'm done with it. So this guy scares the shit out of me. There's another guy who just popped up from my past who literally we were hanging out all the time. We were dating all the time. I mean, everything was great. He came to my house and we were watching X-Men, I think, one of them X-Men movies. It was during COVID. My sleep schedule was so off. And I fell asleep and he was pissed off. He left and I haven't heard from him. I got on Facebook dating last month. Here he goes in my inbox. And I'm like, I didn't even know you wanted to talk to me anymore. He was looking for me. I'm like, looking for me for what? That too. All the compatible people are in relationships. It must be a sign from the universe as a test to our morals. Because I'd be like, why am I not with him? Shake my head. And they wonder why they're not with you too, but they're in relationships and trying to be in one, but not be in one because they can't leave their damn house. Because they ain't gonna have shit when they leave. I don't even be trying to date. I just want to pee and get out. I've been through that too, so I understand. I'm just like, listen, leave the money on the dresser. No, but I've been through that. I'm just like, at this point, I just said that. I was just like, yo, I'm over it. I'm not even going to try it. But I'm like, there's always somebody that comes along. And I feel like, Deborah Cox, how did you get here? Most men don't like to be open enough to express themselves. Tell me about it. I'll be feeling like reading comments like this. I'm like, I'm a whole fucking man. And I'm reading it saying, you right. And like, it just feels weird to even agree with that. But I agree with it. I'm like, I express all my shit. And it's like, you can't even express like, listen, this was too much, or I didn't like this, or, what are we doing, or whatever. Or they hate when you ask, what are we doing? I'm like, we're not about to sit around in 6 months doing all this. And then there's no direction. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm just not, I don't know if I'm built for dating. My ex, we got together in like 4 days because I feel like that I have to do that with someone. It's hard for me to even take time to really figure stuff out with somebody because I feel like if I don't hurry up and lock it down, I'm going to lose interest or they're gonna lose interest. The main ones that be saying they be wanting a relationship be the ones with with the bowl. They names this Todd and they be coming to you with the bowl, setting up the schemes. But that's why it's just hard for me to do it, y'all. Like I'm trying my hardest to stick in here and stay in the game, but and I don't even want to put that off on someone and say, yo, if this don't work, I'm out or I can't do it no more. In my mind though, that's what I say to myself, like, I wasn't expecting this, like I was like, I'm gonna say to myself, I'm gonna enjoy the nudity. I watch the movies, I'm gonna play the games, I'm gonna eat the food, and I'm gonna go home and enjoy myself. And here comes some man. Child, me too. I try to put my inner hoe to the limit and be a nursery. Oh my God, to these men's kids. But I couldn't do it. Just the thought crossed me out. How this one dude on Twitter, nurses. Oh my God, I can't. That man, they keep kicking him out of hotels. They are banning that man from hotels all the time. You're more in tune with your feelings, and they aren't. Yeah, I know. And I feel like people take advantage of that a lot because a lot of people haven't been able, especially in our community, they haven't been able to experience it. First of all, that scares people away a lot. I've learned that. And it's like, I don't know how to turn it on and turn it off. Like, if I like you, I like you. I'm going to show you that like all the time. And if I can't, then maybe I don't need to date. Maybe you need to find someone a little older than. I'm talking about people that's older than me. I'm talking about people that's older than me. The one guy that I dated was younger than me. The same thing, though. How you get kicked out of a hotel? What type of noise would you? No, it was too much traffic going into the hotel room. That's how I got kicked out. They're kicking him, like they are sending his photos to multiple hotels. So if he shows up around there, that he can't even book a room now. Again, I don't even be looking for it. That's the thing. Every person that I've dated has chased me. I've never been looking for it. I mean, when I tell you these people give me mad attention, it's like even with this guy that I just met, and if this happens, I'm gonna come on and talk about it because it's gonna be the same thing. When I met this guy, like literally, it felt like we were only people in the room. Like he cleared the room for me. It felt like we were the only people that was in the room, and we talked about stuff that we both were interested in. Like it seems like the chemistry was great, but I don't understand where things fall off, and like no one ever says what happens. To me, I feel like maybe people like I get too serious and they're not ready for it. That's the only thing I can think of. My deepest fear is that I'll die without experiencing what being in love feels like. I hate that. I can't say I know what that feels like. Now that's something I can't say because I know for sure I know what that feels like. I've tried that, but it only works for me. Me too, my shoe. The older men be the ones with the bull. They are not relationship material for me. Well, the men that I come to contact with, but they can be sugar daddy material though. I wish I could just find me one of those. Listen, at this point, but I'm not going to turn down whatever's about to happen with this situation. Everything's going well, but I mean, this is how it always starts. I want to see how this works out. And hopefully, it works. If not, I'm really going to stick to, listen, I'm not dealing with nobody. Like, you have to fight me to date me at this point. Because I don't have time for it. I just can't. I don't have the patience. All right, with that young rich energy. Yeah, me too. Um, but I'm about to get off here, y'all, because I'm tired. I've been working on these lives all day today, and I'm exhausted. But I do, and thank you guys for joining me on this channel. Like I said, I will be doing more story times and conversations on this channel versus my other channel. The other channel is going to be for new stuff and reviews. But I want to do more stuff on this channel where I'm just having conversations, because this is really what built my channel in the first place. With the mixture, but with YouTube, like I'm out of the algorithm because I mix stuff up. So I have to separate stuff. I'm always have a backup. Do we need to do a background check? you know. I don't know. Well, actually, I've kind of already done one because someone that I'm very close to actually knows them. And how much for your background check services? Put it on LOL. I'm actually already done with this guy, with someone that I know very closely. And they told me that this will probably be a good match for me because we kind of love the same way. So I'm going to ride off of that. I kind of know a lot of I already know a lot about him already that I've been able to verify. So we'll see. Date more than one person at a time. Listen, I can't. I tried that. That's fine, but be honest about it. I cannot do it because, listen, I tried that, and when I had to tell I dated 3 people at one time. When I had to tell other people, it felt like death to me. Like I could not even. I felt so bad. It was not a good experience for me. So I can't. I just can't do it. It felt like a death to me, and I like that. And I didn't even choose the right one. And I remember because I had told one of them was working at the radio station with me, and I had to tell him, and it was a horrible decision. I mean, that turned horrible. Well, dating multiple people does not work for me because I be in love with everybody. So, and I don't know how to turn it off. But I am getting off here, y'all. I'm tired. My eyes are about to shut in a minute. So I love y'all so much. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend to subscribe to this channel. If you haven't already done it, like this video, turn on notifications, because I'm probably going to be doing more stuff over here. You're an old soul, so dead. It's so different for you than it is for a lot of guys. Your age plus you already been married before. Yeah, and I can't do it. Like, I tell people all the time, and I'm upfront with them, like I fall into husband mode like quick. So, child, if we ain't exclusive, I ain't telling. I'm sorry. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I'm leaving. I will see y'all probably tomorrow because I do have another story I want to do tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to find some other new stuff too for the other channel, but I will probably be back on this channel most definitely 99.9% of the time. I'll probably be on this channel tomorrow. I love y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye, y'all.